I see this ANF. This thing's breaking out big here. This is a strong move. Okay, that's a strong move, and if it gets through the daily resistance, all right, that's a big rip here in ANF. If it gets through the daily resistance, there's a lot of room this can go. If it makes a strong pullback, this thing is whippy, huh? Strong pullbacks, opportunity to add some more. Okay, if we can get a retracement inside this bar, this is one of those gift bars. If it dips hard in the first 5 minutes, okay, it's one of those I like to take some off, but this is a pretty strong move. Should be able to get some follow through on it. So that's a bar I would look to play. Juniper short under the low. Well, we got 2 minutes in. Mark, actually, see if this turns in, Mark, if this turns into a bottoming tail, see we're 2.5 minutes in, so we're not really sure yet how this is going to go, right? If this turns into a 5 minute bottoming tail, then I wouldn't short under that low necessarily. If this turns into a topping tail, then we can look for a short under the low. So we got to wait and see how that finishes out here. All right. This ANF is really, really strong here. Come on, if this thing breaks loose, we can get a nice little rip. Now you see how big this 5 minute bar is, right, guys? This is going to be, it's going to be so big that if you try to buy over that high, you can't really put a stop under the low because look at the size of the bar. So this is kind of one of these bars that if you didn't catch the, if you didn't catch it off the 2 minute high, then you're not going to be able to necessarily play this one. But that's the kind of bars you're looking. Yeah, that's hard, Mark. Right? To try to play this now is one of those bars that already ripped. Right? So when Stas and I was telling you about this play, this is what we're talking about. We want a bullish 5 minute bar, and you see how this is really tight consolidation at the end of the day. Had this thing traded for the first 5 minutes and then closed like right around here, 80, 90, or maybe just closed just at the whole number and then popped through, we would be all over that play. And I grabbed a little bit on a 1 minute high, but it's an aggressive play. This is so big now that, playing over that 5 minute high, trying to put a stop on the lows is a lot. You'd have very little shares. Our buy setup inside this bar, we get a little 3 to 5 bar dip. Another buy setup might be something to look at, but that's a very powerful bar. Sometimes they get so big so fast that's like too much of a good thing, and it's hard to play. All right, Juniper, Mark, here comes your Juniper play. Short under the 5 minute low. It's not bad. I'll do it with you. Now the key for this one, guys, is going to be it has to break that whole number, right? Juniper under the 5 minute low, bearish gap, right? Market's gap down. No follow through the downside on the market. So the issue we have here is Q's gapping down, SPY's gapping down, but no break of the lows. You see the SPY's sitting right here at the pivot from yesterday. Q's sitting at the 200. So we have no follow through yet with the markets to the downside. So we have big bearish gap downs, but we have not taken out the 5 minute lows. So when you go to do a play like Juniper, it's a bearish gap as well. There's not a lot of support nearby. Daily chart still got some room to drop a little bit into that 20. Hourly chart's got plenty of room to fall. You take out your 5 minute low, you short, you got to put a stop over your high. Or you take half a position on the 5 minute low, right? There's another way to do this trade. Take half the entry that you want. If it rallies, you look to put the other half on the next sell setup. Could be the gap fill, could be here, but you basically give yourself double this size to be wrong. So if you take half of your shares, you can put a stop up here at 34.50. That way, if you get that little flurry rally and you just take out the high and then do a sell setup, you don't take a full stop and re-enter. And if it follows through, you look to add the second half on a 1 or 2 minute GBI or a short. This will be the key for us here. If we can get through 34, take a couple of cents out of the 90s, we can bring our stop to break even right away and protect that scalp. Okay? So getting through that whole number is going to be key. You want to see it take that out. And usually when it breaks a whole number, I like to see the first nickel. Okay? If you just do 99.98 and it comes right back over the whole number, to me, on a stock like Juniper, that's not enough of a break, right? RIMM, I would want a bigger break. Okay? But on a stock like this, Juniper, Broadcom, if you can get the first nickel out of the way, pretty good chance you'll see some follow through. All right, here we go. So we're getting through the first nickel. So there's a pretty good chance we should get some follow through to the downside. This is a scalp portion for me, guys. Right here, since I'm in at 06, I got 12, 13 cents on the table. I'm going to take some shares off and put my stop at break even. All right, that's how I would do this trade. So I had 1,000 shares, just covered half. Stop is break even. So now if this rallies back up to 34.06, I'll be out. If this thing continues to tank, I'm going to ride what I got left, and we'll go for a nice target. All right. So at this point, it's a free trade for me, and this is the kind of ANF's going over that 5-minute high for sure, but it's just so big. What you could do in that case is take the trade over the high and then put a stop under the current bar's low if you're going to take a shot at that. But that's so far up there, it's tough to play that kind of a bar. Nice follow through here on Juniper. I like this. Guys, I like this. Beautiful. All right. 20 cents of profit for me is or 30 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents, depending on the stock. Somewhere in there, I like to take some profits just as a habit, as routine. So there's 20 something cents right there. So take a little bit more off, and I get the last 300 shares at break even. All right, so 164 bucks in the bank on this little trade, and let it go. 257 on ANF, so we're almost up to $400 here in the first 8 minutes of the day. Not a bad start. If we can get to 1,000 by 10 o'clock, it'll be a good morning. All right, so this one's rocking. What else we got here, guys? Let's find some more money. Okay, see RIMM got through the resistance here in the 1. This should make the move. It's hanging up right here a little bit on the 2. This should make the move back towards 59. 5-minute 8, 2-minute 20. A little bit of resistance. We punch through that, we should see the move back up. And guys, it'll be a really, really nice play if that happens. That's kind of picking a bottom. It's a waiting game at this point, guys. We got to wait for some kind of sell setup or see this thing's going to rally a little bit. Right, but edge A is for hard stops. There we go, guys. See that rim? Nice rim. See if we can get up there and tag that 20. Here we go. Here we go.